Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse racket review of the Yonex V-Core 98 Plus. The V-Core 98 Plus comes fully loaded with all the mass and spin ideal for experienced players. With an added ½ at 11.4 ounces strung, the 2 NAMD Flex Force graphite in the upper shaft and lower hoop helps optimize flex and enhance feel for pocketing. Big hitters looking for a precise and spin-friendly weapon that delivers extra pop on groundies and serves will love this update from Yonex. I'm always a sucker for extended length frames, and this playtest fell right into the category of guilty pleasure. I know Mark Boone loves that phrase when I use it. I had so much fun hitting with this racket and even more fun constructing points with it. I found lots of power. I was really concerned that it was going to be too powerful and too much, but no such thing. I thought I had good command plus a nice amount of spin to help keep my balls in the court. My favorite shot with this one, I think very similar to the other V-Cores, was on serve. I felt really rewarded, especially off big first serves, finding some good kick with the second serves or even spin into the sides of the court. All in all, I really remember liking that SV version on the 98 Plus, and this kind of brought me right back there. Between the Tour and this extended 98, I think the extended 98 goes as my favorite V-Core out of this lineup, so it was an amazing playtest for me.
Coming into this playtest for the new V-Core 98 Plus, my racket of choice is also a Yonex extended frame, the E-Zone 98 Plus, and I think just kind of getting my groove back and hitting with this extended length racket, not only did I appreciate this playtest, but also kind of rekindled my love for my E-Zone extended. One thing I will notice with this one, as well as I tested the V-Core 95 and the 98 Tour, just that softer feel with these V-Cores. I think as far as comfort goes and plushness, this is probably the softest line of V-Cores that I can remember. I remember going back, like Michelle said, with the V-Core SV, and back in the day, the V-Core actually used to be the stiffer, crisper racket compared to the E-Zone, and now it's very plush. So I really like the comfort and the feel of this racket from all areas of the court. I really felt like the ball sunk into the string bed. That's one thing I noticed with this compared to my E-Zone is that string spacing, that easy launch angle, tons of spin from the baseline, also on spin serve. So I feel like this is a very spin-friendly racket. It kind of sits for me in between my E-Zone 98 and the Pure Aero Plus, but just love the comfort here. I also noticed with that softer feel, maybe a little less liveliness, like it didn't feel like the ball was coming off the racket quite as hot, but I still got that easy lift and launch angle for depth. So really like this racket. I'm gonna continue to hit with it. I'm probably gonna add some weight to the handle, a leather grip, go with like a thicker co-poly to kind of maybe dial in that string bed, but just a really fun one here, great for power on the baseline and on the serves.
I was also excited to be named to this playtest for the 7th generation of Yonex's V-Core 98 Plus. This was a lot of racket. If we had done this review maybe 2 weeks earlier, I think I would have said some different things. It really challenged me. The more I played with this racket, the more I really played well with it. And as of now, I would definitely say this is a racket I could switch to. Again, with the extra length, the higher swing weight in the mid 330s, it felt like I was afforded kind of a level of mass-based power and stability that's usually reserved for much heavier rackets. I typically like to hang off the end of the butt cap. I noticed myself choking up a little bit of the time to kind of gain control of all that power. I never had to focus on shot depth at all. In fact, what I began to kind of focus a little more on was access to spin. And that spin was a thing that really tamed a lot of that power from the baseline. Backcourt, in terms of my backhand slice, it was able to stay very low. I do agree with Troy that I might kind of tinker around with at least a 16 or maybe a little bit thicker gauge of string just to kind of tame the launch angle. Access to spin was very easy. And I bet like more than just Michelle, my favorite shot to hit with this racket was definitely the serve. This is an all-court racket, but I definitely appreciated the extra height I was able to hit the serve from. Overall, just a great all-court racket. Fun play test.
It's always fun to get on court with one of the plus length Yonex rackets, and this V-Core 98 Plus is a really fun racket to hit. Huge power on serves and off the ground too. So when I was looking to hit a big serve, big ground stroke, this was definitely my friend. I like the stability at net as well. I thought it was a great serve and volley racket. Or anytime I could get into net, I just really liked the way this racket felt super plush yet solid on the volleys. Lots of power there to help me punch the ball away, and also a really nice feel at contact, so I had good touch and directional control as well. The one area I did have issues with this racket was shaping the ball, especially on my second serve. I found like no matter what I did, I was hitting just a lot of pace, and it was tough for me to get out of that pace mode and into more of a spin and shape mode just to up my margin for error. I hit big serves, but I was a little bit inconsistent. I think that's something that would come for me with more time with this racket. But I was addicted to the power on my first serves, and also when I was looking to hit those big ground strokes. Another shot I really enjoyed with this racket was my backhand slice. I could just really flick my wrist and knife the ball either down the line or cross court and save that directional input till right at the end of the stroke to kind of keep my opponent guessing. So fun play test for me. When we were playtesting this racket, we strung it up with many different Yonex polys, but we settled on Polytour Drive at 52 pounds for the shoot today. And that's all we got for this one. So thank you so much for watching. For more information on this racket, be sure to head to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.